Hello and welcome to another game of Dota 2. We have got RedBull Esports Champions League Group Stages Group A, LGD Gaming versus Royal Love, and it is an important match for Royal Love. Before we talk about that, let me introduce to you my co-caster Vickermond in this Beyond the Summit presentation.
Good to be back, Shiver. Royal Love, this is definitely not an easy task for them. I feel the most for Royal, I think, out of any team here. They have the... well, no, actually, they're in the slightly easier group. Never mind. I thought for a second that they were Group B, but of course that's Xiaopengyo. So Royal, they actually are not eliminated. They've got 2 games today, I believe. This is an important win for them if they can get it. It's also probably the hardest team to beat in the group. LGD right now sitting 3-0. They haven't looked unstoppable. They've been very, very conservative. They've been sort of trying not to throw games rather than trying to be aggressive and take games. But still, they're a very, very strong team.
Yeah, and they are of course on par with points with Orange. Now Orange is still one of the opponents that Royal still has to face. So that's gonna be a deciding match. And they kinda need to Royal kinda need to win this one, which is definitely not gonna be easy. But the reason I say that is because Orange also got a match up against Musi. And Musi is kind of like the underdog this tournament, as in they're probably not going to be winning from Orange. Yep. So we're going to assume that Orange then is on a 2-for-2 score. And the only way for Royal to be going to the playoffs is to also get a 2-for-2 score, in which case they have to beat LGD Gaming here. So that will be a tough thing to do for them, but we'll see how they will fare. We have got a Bat Rider, an Alchemist, as well as a Darkseer and a Visage banned out. With the Dragon Knight and the Shadow Demon picked up by LGD, they do like those two. Lifestealer picked up by Royal in return.
Right. Orange, yeah, you're completely right, Orange, of course. With that game against Musi, who are sort of the punching bags of the group, unless something very weird happens there, Orange are far more likely to advance than Royal. But if they pull off a stunning upset here, which by no means will be easy, maybe they could try to make something happen. These are fairly standard picks for the state of the metagame right now. The Shadow Demon being valued quite highly this tournament again. This is a hero who I feel waxes and wanes in esteem. Like, there was a period in which people weren't really running him nearly as much anymore. But now we're seeing somewhat of a resurgence of the hero, all the way back into occasionally getting first banned. Of course, he's very fun with Dragon Knight, because if Dragon Knight is in his ultimate form, the Elder Dragon form, Shadow Demon can make 2 additional Elder Dragons. But don't count out Royal's lineup either. They get the Lifestealer, still an extremely strong carry depending on who he's laning with. And Nyx Assassin, of course, quite a strong support option, despite the fact that he is somewhat level dependent.
Yeah, and of course, if LGD wants to pick up an OD this game, which is still in the pool, maybe we're gonna see it banned out though. Nyx Assassin is a very strong hero against that, so even though Nyx Assassin normally played as a support, the chance that he might be a carry, or sorry, a solo mid instead or something like that is still present. Of course, we're gonna assume for now Dragon Knight will be the mid for LGD, but you never really know. We have a Gyrocopter banned out by Royal as the secondary core for LGD, and the Puck banned out by LGD instead. And the Beastmaster now as well. Beastmaster, interesting ban. Beastmaster, we've mostly seen him in a solo mid lane. Of course, he is an off laner, a strong one as well, but nope. And there goes the OD still, never mind me.
The Beastmaster is a pick that LGD favors more than most teams. Beastmaster is one of those heroes who's strong enough that teams that like him want to run him, but there are a lot of teams that can run him that choose not to. Nonetheless, Beastmaster is great against Lifestealer, simply because Roar... Against Lifestealer, you're always looking for those disables that head through BKB. They have a pseudo-disable in the form of the Demonic Purge on Shadow Demon, and then, of course, the Beastmaster would give them that huge Roar to add on to that. So I think that's a smart ban, especially given LGD's already existing predilection for the hero.
Yeah, I like the Queen of Pain pickup by Royal, a very aggressive pickup, and will win the lane up against the Dragon Knight. And Dragon Knight might not necessarily lose the lane, but he'll have a very tough time up against the harassment that can come out from a Queen of Pain. Chen picked up by LGD though, so we're gonna maybe see some early roams, and of course, especially with the Shadow Demon there, the potential for ganks is very big. It might not be getting the Queen of Pain, but we'll see if they can find a different target to go on. It will all depend also, of course, on what hero Royal goes for as their solo laner. The other one, I'm not sure if I want to call it an off laner or if I want to call it the solo safe lane, because with the Lifestealer and the Nyx Assassin, an aggressive tri lane for Royal Love is still very possible. We've seen them very liking the Leshrac, and it does fit into their lineup this time as well.
Yeah, Leshrac definitely is a possibility there for Royal. Just quickly about the Shadow Demon Chen. This is typically a mid-ganking approach if you're on Dire. Like, you sort of come into the mid with the smoke on the Shadow Demon and hope that you found a good time. The Shadow Demon sits back and is pulling the lane repeatedly. So it's very important that you actually clear out any wards on the lane, so that you want Radiant to not see the Shadow Demon. This is cool, by the way. The Enigma is a very interesting pickup. Just to quickly finish the Shadow Demon Chen, in order for the smoke gank of these two heroes to work, it has to surprise the Queen of Pain that the Shadow Demon is coming in. And to do that, they need to control the vision over the Dire jungle. But this Enigma pick, this is something that we haven't seen a lot lately at all, but certainly gives you that potential of a huge AoE. One of the reasons they took this Enigma here is Royal Love have a very sort of aggressive tri-focused approach, and so Enigma can actually just solo lane and be just fine in a lot of matchups.
Yeah, I like it a lot, and of course with that, the knives that it brings, the teamfight potential that it brings. So far though, they don't really have any other real teamfight ability to follow up on that black hole, apart from Dragon's Breath from Dragon Knight. Or Breathe Fire, sorry. But definitely a cool hero. And we're seeing that LGD is taking their time to think about the next ban. We have got the Windrunner picked up, so that's a nice offlaner. Leshrac, as mentioned, still on the pool, might be one of the bans that LGD is thinking about. Royal, they will be looking to ban out a carry, I think. We're gonna assume still that the Dragon Knight will be in the mid. And a carry is then something that LGD misses. There are still so many carries in the pool though, that it's tough to find out which one you really want to have. Naga Siren they want to ban out. No doubt about it. They just instantly ban it out. And LGD also no time to think, no need to think about this Razor. Again, for the second time we see him up against a Lifestealer today.
Right. And I actually, honestly, I really like this, because Royal have put themselves in a position here where they don't really have room to take another primary farmer to alternate with the Lifestealer. This is, you can sometimes sabotage yourself a little bit. Lifestealer, I would say, is a good carry hero, but if they have something like a Razor, if they have something like a Bane, suddenly you're really wishing that you had gone with that dual auto-attacking core lineup. And Queen of Pain does nominally have the potential to be an alternate auto-attacker, but I don't see it this game. It's just too dangerous for her to try to build auto-attack. She's going to just trying to blow up people like Shadow Demon, people like Razor.
Yeah, and Royal Love thinking very hard about this last pickup.
Yeah, I mean, you see fewer strict out drafts, but I would say that LGD have the stronger draft here.
Mm-hmm. It will really depend how aggressive the Queen of Pain can be and how big she'll win the mid lane, which is not going to be an easy feat to do, though. But yeah, they're thinking about it. They need a strong lane to be able to make sure that they get ahead, and they are going to be in an okay position when LGD starts teamfighting. And to be fair, they don't really have that much teamfight to throw at LGD in return. They've got a Sonic Wave and a nice Impale. There we go. That's the support with a bit extra team fight. Blinding Light will help for sure. And of course Illuminate is going to be the reason why they picked that one up.
It's not bad, but I still feel LGD have a very strong approach here. They will be running the tri-lane with the Razor, so it'll be a safe lane, tri-lane with Razor played by Sylar. DDC supporting on the Shadow Demon, and of course in the jungle will be DD on the Chen. A hero that, by the way, LGD are using more and more and more. So we talked about how teams are using this land to sort of diversify their pool a bit. LGD, a team that wasn't really running Chen that much, and they're running him in damn near every game here. That leaves Xiao to be taking up the off-lane role that he is mostly playing these days on the Enigma. And of course Yao will be playing Dragon Knight mid.
Yeah, and that will leave us to Royal. SN will be playing the Lifestealer in the middle lane. We're gonna see the other four going atop, but of course probably gonna see Zhao Si going to the bottom lane on his Windrunner. Hansi on the Keeper of the Light this game. Royal 5400 on the Nyx Assassin. And then the last one, there we go. Queen of Pain, actually Yim rotating bottom. That means that Windrunner will be the carry / farmer.
Farming Windrunner
On the top lane. I think I like it.
I am somewhat unconvinced. The idea here is that they want to punish the Enigma a little bit and actually have somebody facing up against him who's not just going to lose the lane or not be able to pressure Enigma. And Lifestealer is a fine matchup against Dragon Knight. I would say that my concern, I actually don't really love the Keeper of the Light pick. I think they could have used a support Windrunner, still run the aggressive tri-lane, and maybe put an alternate farmer. You end up with a pretty greedy lineup, but at least it's one that has a plan against the Razor if this tri-lane doesn't work out. If the tri-lane does work out, then I I think Royal can stabilize, they can do well. But if they don't punish Sylar, I just see LGD heading to a huge lead.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure whatsoever. We have the Illuminates gonna start things off. Let's see if they can make something happen here. Of course, you've got the haste rune still up there, but it's just, never mind. It's about to run out and they don't get anything with it. In the mid lane, it's gonna be okay for both of these. Of course, as we already saw this matchup earlier this week, SN will be getting a little bit ahead just by virtue of being able to harass Yao just a bit more than Yao can harass SN. But both should definitely be still okay on this lane. On the lane, Yim on the Queen of Pain up against Zhao 8. It's gonna be... It should be going in favor of Yim, but because Zhao 8 can deny creeps, the lane will be pushed towards his tower, and therefore he will still be able to get experience as well as last hits with his Eidolons.
And unless, until Queen of Pain actually gets a few ranks of Scream of Pain, which with the skill build takes a little while, it's lost XP, sort of like laning against a Lich, because as long as Xiao 8 is careful with his Eidolons, none of them will be killed by Queen of Pain, and so she won't be getting an extra gold or anything. She'll just be losing farm.
Yeah, who do you think will be the first blood, and where?
Most likely in the 3 vs 3. It'll either be Shadow Demon dying or Keeper of the Light dying. My guess is Keeper.
Oh, Chen coming in actually with the Centaur. I mean, they do of course have the disruption to set things up for the Centaur to go for a stun. But it's the only real disable that they have through which they can still attack. Just a Centaur there, and it's not a real thing that you can always count on. Of course, the Centaur already down to half HP, because he is the one trying to help DD in the jungle. But we'll see if he sticks around. Counterward was at least there. Hansi, no more clarity for him. There goes the stun. But the harassment and the impale, actually they really want to take him down. And they do. Boom. 71 gold going to Hansi.
Yeah, it's actually a nice job done there by Royal. And the other thing is, Xiao 8 actually really lacks for any mana regen right now. He takes boots first. So this is the last Eidolons he's going to have for a little while. I don't think he'll have the mana back in time for his next cast. They do stun up DDC. Shadow Demon, not quite the first blood just yet, but this is of course a pretty squishy hero. Here comes the response.
Yeah.
Oh, he misses
and a
the
new
Centaur.
Centaur. That's gonna be Windrunner, maybe in some trouble, depending on if Centaur can catch up. There goes the stun, and it hits. Can they catch her out? I think they might be able to. One more hit needed, and they do get him. It is Razor with the first blood. Sylar gets it. The rest of the tri-lane backing off, and of course, it's not just a kill. It is the kill on the one that was trying to get the farm on this top lane.
Interesting that he didn't go anything in Windrun. He escapes from that pretty easily with the Windrun. Obviously with the farming Windrunner, you're not an off lane, you don't want to automatically go the Windrun, but tough, and that actually would have been even easier for LGD if the Soulcatcher hadn't randomly hit the Nyx Assassin instead. Of course, that's the thing about Soulcatcher, you know, sometimes that's liable to happen.
Yeah, and of course brilliant for DD to actually find himself another Centaur Conqueror. I mean, there is a little bit of luck involved, but well, we're working it out for him. It worked out for him. Wow, English is hard, you know. But I think that Sylar will be a little bit more careful from now on. I mean, they do need that Chen to be able to set up for a kill, but at least the first blood is out of the way. That means that the incentive for Royal to potentially go for dives and trades and such is a little bit less high. In the meantime, in the middle lane, SN sitting on 20-6 versus Yao on 19-3. The difference is really minimum. Yeah, so it's a fairly even lane. Yao is actually rotating, maybe bottom. Yin in the meantime, he's actually getting harassed a lot by these Eidolons. He does still have a blink, but he can't really go aggressive anymore. Yao, he gets himself the bottle, looking for the rune.
Right.
Double
But
damage.
that Malefice is it's a very strong tool, frankly, and then just
Yeah.
even the harassment from the Eidolons after they split up can do a lot of damage. And you have to be careful as Queen of Pain that you don't wind up in a position where the Enigma can just kill you with the Eidolons by using a Malefice when you're not expecting it. He doesn't have the mana right now, but once he gets up a little bit closer to full mana, once he actually delivers himself some regen, maybe he makes Arcane Boots here? I don't know.
He might. He might. We'll see.
Yeah,
He's
but
waiting for
the
it.
new Malefice is actually
Yeah.
really... Oh man, DDC taking a lot of damage, but so is 5400 with the Soul Catcher. Sylar takes that with the Plasma Field. No, he doesn't. DD somehow gets it.
Jackal doesn't latch. They don't go in on it. But the Nyx Assassin going down. Another kill going the way of LGD. And DDC will get sent home. This time no Centaur though. This time Hubber Smasher to help out. And actually, yeah, he did help out.
I don't think this aggressive try with the Windrunner really does much damage at all. Like, you have the Illuminate, sure, but it's just not very beefy as an aggressive tri lane. I feel they moved the Lifestealer over to do better in the middle lane. A fine decision on its own, but they end up with an aggressive try that's not stopping Sylar from farming. He's out farming Xiaosu,
Yeah, quite happily.
and it's not getting kills.
I mean, Windrunner is only sitting on 13 to 5. Sylar on 20 for 3. And on top of that, he has got himself a kill. Not just a kill, the first blood. So, yeah, this aggressive trial not really working out. And, I mean, it would be okay to leave Windrunner alone at this point, I think. Because the supports need their levels and they can't just go into their own jungle to try and farm there. I mean, they can get... They need those levels. You already mentioned during the draft that Nyx Assassin, a fairly level-dependent hero, needs to have that level 6 to be able to make things happen on the map, and
Yeah.
that's not going to happen for a long time, and I think we can already consider this tri lane lost for Royal.
Yeah, I hate to say things like that this early, but I think you're right, Sheever. I mean, they're certainly not winning it at any particularly good rate. SN missing the infest damage onto Yao. It just ends up healing him, but not dealing damage. I just don't think Keeper of the Light, Nyx Assassin, is that strong of an aggressive tri-lane pairing here. Maybe with the Lifestealer, but without it, I don't know.
They are a combination that often is played together, but normally on the safe lane, because they are such good for counter initiating.
Sure.
Initiating. Wow. That's going awkwardly. But oh well.
Oh, I feel bad for Yao. He actually missed a pretty easy last hit on that Siege Creep there. Well, not easy. Siege Creeps are pain.
Yeah.
It's a tricky last hit. The issue there was you've got his Siege Creep is on the low ground, and it's hitting the Siege Creep on the high ground, and you don't know whether it'll miss or not.
Whoa! Aggression from Yao.
Nice. Well, the thing is, if he gets Lifestealer off the lane, the odds that Lifestealer dies there are extremely low. Man, stop missing last hits, yeah, come on. But he gets the tower easily here. There's no way that they can defend this tower.
No, they have to let it go, and that will be the first tower going the way of LGD. I mean, fortification or not, wait a second, top lane might have some initiation going on. Can they get something going? They do have still the disruption, and they look for it, and they find it. In comes Hansi, might be able to help out Sylar. Quite low life, but does take the kill on the Windrunner. Has to run now though. Big static link. Pops the stick charges, and this might actually be a turnaround. In comes Jim. Whiff on the Sonic Wave. Sylar, he lives. He is running though, and there can be a blink and a scream soon. It might be turning into a kill unless he's gonna get sent home in time. Nope. Nope, doesn't get it. Blink and scream. In comes Yao. Dragon Tail is still there. There's no blink for him, and it is gonna be the Dragon Form that runs out. Open wound, TP out for the Dragon Knight. He's gonna keep him safe. Of course, the first kill for Royal is done, but nice fight for LGD regardless.
Well, I don't know. I thought that went okay for Royal. They got the deny somehow on the tower, so SN denies the mid tower. Nice job by Lifestealer there. And hey, they did kill Sylar. It probably would have been easier with the Sonic Wave, but Sonic Wave's a giant pain in the ass. I'm not gonna blame him for missing it. So they actually deny the tower and get a kill on the Razor. That's kind of what they need at this stage in the game.
Yeah, but Razor does get a kill, and he's already ahead, and I don't think they shut him down enough with it. And Windrunner, of course, dying for the second time. She is looking like an offlane Windrunner without having supports to back her off. And
sure,
it is shutting down someone, like it's kicking a dog when it's down, right? It's gonna not move anymore at some point, and LGD definitely still very much in the lead. 3k gold ahead while having a tower denied is a quite substantial lead. Experience graph also going their way. But they rotate bottom actually, the supports that is. But looks like Zawade can deal with it perfectly fine. He has also got a black hole by the way. He has got it on cooldown, so he used it earlier. But I guess that was before Yim rotated top. When the fight was going on the top lane.
Yeah,
Windrunner goes down. Dragon Knight actually rotating top.
Exactly.
With the Dragon
that
Tail.
was... It's just smart play by LGD, and they're completely locking this farming Windrunner out of being able to... Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, he's not even up to the point that you would expect in the 1v1 lane, the Windrunner. Or even... Yeah. I mean, if it was solo versus solo, Windrunner would be in better shape. The lanes didn't really work out for Royal. They're not really feeling many of the benefits of their draft. While LGD, I mean, throughout all this time, you have Xiaoit getting fine farm, Yao still has pretty reasonable farm, and even Sylar, who got pressured with the aggressive tri-lane, is doing very well.
Yeah. Tier 1 tower. Looks like they might go down. Oh, nice hand of God, but nice power shot as well. Dragon Tail by Windrunner. Nice try. Nice try. There goes the tower. More TPs coming in, but by this time, is it going to be in time? In comes SN. Sonic Wave this time hits on 4! And a Scream! And that's going to be Chen down. Can they get more? Sylar running himself away from this one, and it looks like they're only going to be able to pick up 1. And with the Chen creeps as well, but what a shame they couldn't get more with that brilliant Sonic Wave coming off from Yim.
It was a great Sonic Wave. It hit every single person he wanted it to, and they didn't quite get the follow-up. I think...
Look at Zawade. Oh, never mind. Oh my god! He's gonna go for this. In comes Yao, goes for the Dragon Tail by Queen of Pain. I mean, he came after the fight was done. He was just sitting there waiting. He's like, what's going on here? Nicely done.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fine use of Black Hole to get a Queen of Pain like that, especially after she did manage to pick up a kill. And Royal, I think, are just finding themselves out-muscled. They're not really farming. Lifestealer is the only person whose farm is in a pretty decent shape. He's got phase boots, drums, probably armlet next. He's already quite fast. The armlet will also make him more able to deal the damage. If Lifestealer is your only damage source, that's when you are most vulnerable to the power of Razor. Because he can simply static link you and laugh, basically. Yeah,
normally Queen of Pain would be a pretty big damage source as well, but if we look at her net worth, it's just on par with that of the Chen, and that's worrying. I mean, of course, most of her damage comes from spells, and she does throw out some Sonic Waves, as we have seen. Some miss, some don't. But if you have a Chen on the other side of the team, I mean, sure, it's gonna do some damage, but Hand of God will be there. Soon Mechanism will be there as well. You only need 50 gold for it to be there with the recipe needed. And then all that burst damage is not going to be doing that much anymore because your enemy team will be healed up again.
Right. Yep. And with... I think they're going to also build multiple BKB. Yeah, right. So Yao has about just the Ogre Club so far, but he's going to build towards BKB. You see Xiaoid also going for first item BKB for the Enigma. He probably takes a fall here at least with 5,400. Yep. Do they punish? Yes, they'll at least get the Nyx Assassin.
And it's actually Enigma that gets the credit for that, even though Yao...
Yeah, the Eidolons. They do really good damage when you've got all of them up like this, hitting a stun target.
Yep. Illuminate will try to clear them out, but actually misses. Shackle doesn't latch. There's an infested creep. Nice static link, though. But... does still quite a bit of damage, but Lifestealer will be safe, obviously, on the top lane. He actually rotated to try and farm some here, but...
Right.
He is still up against a line that would still kill him if they have a chance.
Yeah, and the thing about the Razor is, okay, he doesn't get a kill with this ultimate, but he moves Lifestealer all the way back, prevents a fight that they... I mean, forces Royal completely away. Meanwhile, you have DD and Yao split pushing, and Lifestealer ends up leaving. Like, he doesn't want to steal too much farm away from the Windrunner. He's not going to get a kill here, although Queen of Pain does have Sonic Wave.
Sonic Wave. There is a Hand of God and a mech, though. Like, look at that.
Yep.
They can just turn and burn if they want to, knowing that the Sonic Wave is on cooldown. Can't really find a good initiation. In the meantime, the Vendetta is up on 5,400. They're gonna go for this. Hansi gets Malefice. Hansi will be the first one to drop. Bai is back to be here in this fight, though. Not sure if that's the right call. TP's in, but... yeah.
I think you can buy back in if the Sonic Wave is up, but since it's down... who are you hoping the Illuminate will be enough to kill, I guess is the question.
Well, they really want to save their tower, apparently. Well, they denied it. I guess that's something. 5 heroes fleeing the scene from 4 heroes from LGD. Disruption there, actually make that 5. DDC came in. That's going to be Hansi down for the second time. They might be able to get the Shadow Demon though, but the Black Hole comes in. Catches out the Lifestealer, and SN will take a fall. Nice 3-man impale, but no follow-up for that one. And the mechanism was up again already. LGD, they're just steamrolling this game. I mean, this is not even funny anymore for Royal. They can't find an opening anywhere.
Was it at some point funny for them?
I don't know.
Dude, they're gonna, oh my god, Queen of Pain walks right into the Dragon Knight stun. Oh, that's painful. I mean, LGD, it's like you pointed out, Shiver, once they add the mechanism, suddenly your burst damage doesn't count for very much. So 2 mechanism uses plus the Hand of God in that sort of extended teamfight / push, and they end up at full health at the end of the tier 2.
Yeah.
They end up walking away with full health. If they want to walk right into the Roche pit and take it, they don't have Medallion, but I think they easily can if they want it.
Yeah, we'll see if they end up going there. And of course, it is 11-4, and Roshan looks indeed to be the target. Gold graph going to the 10k, experience graph plummeting as well towards the 7,500. And we're only 15.5 minutes into this game, and the only one that's trying to keep up with farm and is anywhere close is the Lifestealer. But his farm is still on par with that of the Chen, and is still very far behind the 3 cores of LGD. And this poor Lifestealer is sitting in a taxi ride that is just taking him further and further away from his enemy team.
It's one of those like horror movie taxis where
Yeah.
the driver, yeah. I mean, he can't go into the Roche like this. They're not in a fit state to possibly sabotage LGD's team. And LGD has essentially no incentive not to continue as 5 and just push, you know, whatever they want.
It's kind of showing that they were not expecting Roshan to be done right now also. Because otherwise they wouldn't have tried to look for something, and they would have tried to get something in return for it. Maybe just some farm on the Lifestealer would have been something more than they got now, at least.
Yeah, I agree. For Royal, the Lifestealer right now is the only person doing any damage. The Queen of Pain isn't.
Whoa.
They do get Yao, maybe.
Yeah, the Hand of God is there. Here comes the Dragon Tail. More TP's coming in. The Haste Rune is there up on the Dragon Knight. Yao! He actually got saved by that Haste Rune. And Enigma around him now too. TP out from Nyx Assassin.
Oh,
That's gonna be a Dragon Tail. No rage up for the Lifestealer while he's TPing out. And that might cost him his life. In comes DD. One last hit. DD, you only need to hit him. Okay, Dragon Knight gets it
that's when
instead.
you wish you had Armlet if you're Lifestealer. You can Armlet to live until your Infest cooldown is up, go into a Chen creep, and then hope that gets you away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Royal, I don't really see much of a route for them back into this. You've got a pretty farmed Dragon Knight, farmed Sylar on the Razor at this point, pretty close to his BKB. Once these BKBs are up, I mean, the Dragon Knight is what, done with his? Yeah, it's being delivered. Sylar is basically done with his in mere moments.
So it already has his.
Yeah, so the Queen of Pain won't deal any damage, period, and the Lifestealer doesn't have enough once Static Link is up.
Yeah, maybe they can do something with this Vendetta. Maybe not, but nope, they're not. They're not even gonna try. I mean, just now they had a Dragon Knight. Of course he had a Haste Rune, but they bursted everything they had on him, and they couldn't get him down. Sonic Wave was used, Screams.
It is a
Couldn't
rank
make it work.
4 Dragon Knight, and it just sort of speaks to how little damage Royal actually have, given the fact that they weren't able to convincingly win the lanes or the early game. He does have rank 4 Dragon Blood means that he has 19 armor, so your Lifestealer is dealing barely any damage to him. His health pool isn't tremendously high yet, and your Feast is only level 1, so that's not providing you an alternate source of good damage. SN is gonna get harassed out of lane by Xiaowei here.
Yeah,
He's
Maleficent.
going to just
Actually,
have to
no.
eat
Hello,
them
Black
all.
Hole. Why not try to take a kill here? Huh? Right? Sure.
Well, right, because the Lifestealer is the only person they even care about. Like, they don't really need to capture Windrunner too often in a Black Hole, because she's a non-factor in this game. She has part of a mechanism 0-4 and 0. Yeah, I mean, a non-factor. She hasn't even participated in a single kill.
And of course, Queen of Pain not that big of an issue either, because there's tons of BKBs up on LGD at the moment. It is, well, considering Royal is, you know, behind, what is their chance to get back into this game?
I got nothing. I don't think they can get back into this game. They would need the Queen of Pain. Well, the Queen of Pain is actually, because of the BKBs, they need to waste LGD BKB charges, and they need to somehow steal some kills with Lifestealer to get him to armlet extremely quickly. So maybe try to misposition LGD somehow, catch them when they're not, like kill somebody before they BKB. Obviously not Yao, because you won't kill Yao even if he doesn't BKB. But maybe you can kill Xiao 8 before he BKBs, take him out of a fight early.
Perhaps.
That's all I have for you.
Okay, well, I agree with you that they have to wait until the BKB charges are down before they can actually try to think about fighting. So what they probably would need to do, even though it's gonna be an uphill battle, like steep uphill battle, Hansi is gonna be MVP for the next coming 10 minutes, I think. Because his Illuminates are supposed to stop all the pushes that come in. It's gonna be him that they want to focus. If Keeper of the Light is dead, and, you know, Sonic Wave gets blown in some fight, that's gonna be LGD's just going high ground. Because they can.
Right.
They could if they wanted to. But Illuminates might keep them off long enough for, I don't know, for something for Royal to come up that might turn this around.
I agree. I mean, Keeper of the Light is an amazing hero to turtle with. They don't have a pipe just yet to sort of trivialize going high ground against the Keeper. To go high ground, if they didn't want to take any Illuminate damage, they would have to use the BKBs a lot earlier than they probably want to. If you're Royal in that case, you have everybody sitting as far back as possible, and the Keeper of the Light somewhere behind the racks, like firing Illuminates down onto the low ground. They will lose their Aegis pretty soon. I actually don't think LGD pushes before that happens because it's LGD. But what they can do is take the next Roshan and add a pipe on the Dragon Knight. Oh no, he's going Shadow Blade, so that'll actually just give them even more ability to catch.
Yeah, and by the way, for people wondering, this Sentry Ward upon Sentry Ward is actually not seeing each other. So that's kinda just out of range. Just with the nerf, you don't see them anymore. Blink Dagger! Shall we?
Well, they can't... Yeah. Right.
Oh, and he blinks instantly. Goes for the Lifestealer. Not for a Black Hole this time, though. And the Blinding Light there as well. Of course, if he went for a Blinding Light there, Shao Ci would be able to go for the Shackle and, well, unless he put on his BKB actually. They could have, he could have. But, yeah, let's see. They're gonna go for the last tier 2 tower. I think they're feeling pretty confident this fight.
There's no way that Royal could stop them from taking a tier 2. Royal to Turtle need the high ground advantage. In my opinion, maybe I'm wrong.
Whoa.
5400, they might catch them in out of position.
Yeah, there comes the Dragon Tail. BKB turned on. Yao's though, or Xiao 8 goes for the Black Hole mechanism, keeps him up, and the Black Hole catches 3. 1 down, 2 down. And that's gonna be 3 down, I think, unless Yim can blink away in time, which he actually could. And Xiao 8, oh, that Illuminate almost kills him off, but he lives. He blinks and he lives. He's gonna get sent home. And they kill the Lifestealer again.
Fight that they could possibly get. Yeah. Like, I guess they did what we sort of theory crafted or surmised they might try to do, which is the Enigma, maybe you can kill him before he hits BKB. But in that case they don't, and then, you know, the mechanism comes through for him, the Hand of God does, and you get 3 of your players caught in Black Hole. You die, LGD still gets the tier 2 tower, you get nothing out of the exchange. But the thinking is sound, right? Like, that was actually the one thing they could have done, even if that was low probability.
Yeah. And, I mean, apparently LGD, they don't feel confident enough to go up high ground just yet. Even with SN down, and with the Sonic Wave not up. But, yeah, I feel like they're giving Royal a bit of an extra chance. And perhaps they can take it. We have the gold grab 15k and 14k behind for Royal compared to LGD.
Right. And it's just also the farming Windrunner, or once upon a time the farming Windrunner, just, it didn't work out. He does have not awful net worth, 4,000, but all that adds up to is brown boots and a mechanism. And that's it. And he's level 8 is the other problem. He has max rank power shot, almost max rank shackle, so that's all the levels that your support Windrunner needs. But what he doesn't have is like any stats to deal damage. So it's a Windrunner that won't deal damage, it's a Queen of Pain that is completely stopped by BKB, and in fact she's building her own BKB. Not that that isn't an effective item for her, but it certainly won't add any damage onto their stack.
Yep, I agree. And talking about levels real quickly, level 8, 8, and 9. Now, well, they are leveling right now, but the aggressive trialing people Oh, I think Life Stealer is dead again. Yep. Well, that's fast. Can't even cast that, but I mean the levels in general, it's making such a big difference not to have those level 11s for the Nyx Assassin and the Keeper of the Light. Because as I said, Keeper of the Light is going to be very important to, you know, send those Illuminators through, and you want to have that extra duration up on the Spirit form, or sorry, shorter cooldown I should say. Oh.
Poor Salsa, he's dropping.
Yep, there we go. That's another quick pickup. But of course, the more often you can get that Spirit form up, the better it is for you to position yourself safe. And of course, for the Nyx Assassin as well, his Vendetta is a very short duration, and he has to be careful because I believe someone has a gem, but nobody here. Okay. But yeah, the levels are very important this game, and unfortunately for Royal, with that aggressive trial lane, they didn't swap it fast enough in my opinion. They should have tried to rotate earlier.
I just think the Keeper of the Light pick hasn't really worked out, except to keep themselves alive, but not having any chance to win a game for a really long time. So all they've done is given themselves a longer workday, I feel, with this Coddle. He hasn't really put up all that much on the board. The mana regen is nice, but at this point, Coddle's home is the base. He's not going to really leave the base very often. Only if they feel like they can maybe get a 5-man smoke.
Yeah, the gem on LGD, of course, sitting up on DD, but, well, he hasn't been able to really catch the Nyx Assassin out of position. But then again, Nyx Assassin has been kinda, you know, stuck to his base. It's so sad for Royal, like, they can't even farm right now. LGD, they're giving them a chance, they're waiting for another Roshan. Royal might be able to use this time a little bit more to get some sort of farm up, but it feels like it's just waiting on executions, like, you know, lambs to the slaughter.
Yeah, I mean, this is an easy rush for LGD. Again, there's no way that Royal can interfere with this rush at all. They're late if they want to try.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be down, and LGD will be out of the pit, probably.
Well, let's see if they turn around. Yim hesitating, and they turn around.
Well, nice field trip, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's go home.
Oh, you can imagine, like, you know, this would have been their last chance. It's like, okay, we can't let them have Roshan. We have to try. Otherwise, with that Aegis, they can go high ground. We have to try. So, you know, they timed it a little bit late, but they timed it thinking, you know what, they wouldn't be there straight away, and we're just gonna go. But yeah, almost there. Have to back off. It's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is not terrible. When you're really, really behind, even a fight that you're very unlikely to win is better than just getting choked out at your base. The issue is they were very late to do it, I feel. It's difficult because if once the lanes are pushed in, any smart team like LGD is going to push your lane way in and then go to Roche way ahead of you. So you have to waste all the time clearing out the wave, and then you have to go get the Roche. So even as Xiao 8 is still
yeah, he is kind of trigger happy, and his team is... Oh, there's Xiao. That's at least someone. That's one hit.
It's a Shadow Blade.
Yeah, and that's gonna be Yim. He's already stunned up. He pops his BKB. He has an infested lifestealer sitting inside him. But this is the first BKB charge. And I mean, it's awesome, but, you know, it's kind of pointless.
Well, no Keeper. I don't think Keeper has buyback, so there's no Illuminate. We talked about that potential to turtle with it, right? They can't turtle for 20 seconds.
Nope, and they also cannot really defend without an Queen of Pain with her BKB.
It's actually worth it to catch the Keeper there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. Fortification tries to delay it. Keeper of Light will be back again in 3 seconds, so who knows? But the tier 3 will already be down by the time that he has loaded up his first Illuminate. Oh, BKB's turned up again. That's gonna be Hansi dead for the second time. Can they get more is the question. Sylar trying to chase him down with his new stuns, and Yasha Mechanism tries to keep 5,400 up, but that's one dead. Should be the second dead as well. He's actually gonna dive this, and he actually is gonna get the kill as well. In the meantime, the rest of his team has killed off the rest, and that is gonna be Rax. It's gonna be GG. And I mean, I don't think anybody is surprised right now after seeing the first part of the game, but LGD dominating Royal at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the difficult thing is when you get outdrafted like this, and in my opinion they were outdrafted, it's going to be very difficult to not look like a worse team than you are. I actually, I watched Royal in the initial group stage, so the online group stage of this event, and they gave Tongfu a pretty good run for their money. So it's not that they're a terrible team. I think people are going to look at this game and sharply critique them, and even though they did make some play mistakes, I honestly feel like this was more decided at the draft stage. LGD had a team that, even playing a lot more sloppily than they did, would have looked better simply by virtue of being a stronger composition overall.
Yeah, and of course we are in Group A of the RedBull Esports Champions League, and we are gonna see 7 more games today. This was the 3rd game of today. We're gonna see 4 games of Group A after this one, and the next one up is Orange taking on Esports Musi. So sit around. It will be Mushi versus Musi. I don't know, can't pronounce it properly. Anyways, we're gonna have another matchup. Of course, it's a Beyond the Summit presentation. You are watching the RedBull Esports Champions League with Shiver and Vikramont, and we will be right back.